Carol Rowles is the owner of the Oklahoma City Punishers. Jenna Hessert will rock you on the court, literally. These ladies are putting the boom into pickleball in OKC, and they are on the court with me. It's the Pickle with Mickle interview series 00. Start. Good afternoon, Carol and Jenna. How are you?
Awesome. How about you?
I am doing excellent right now because I can hear you fine. We're not having any of those weird issues that we had when we tried to get together before, so I'm super excited.
Yes, we're excited to be here.
How are things in
Fire
Oklahoma?
away, Mickle.
We're getting into it. You guys are all the one. You got all the firing to do. I mean, pickleball's booming in Oklahoma. We got a Sooner making some waves out here in Mesa at the PPA Cup, even though they lost in the final. Hey, but that's okay. Have you guys caught any of the action out here from Mesa at all? On the TV?
Yeah, I've been watching some on YouTube and watching in between my training. I'm like, well, if I'm not playing pickleball, let's watch some pickleball. So.
Yeah, so Jenna, we're going to need to
It's
get a little
pretty
bit.
exciting.
Go ahead, Carol.
Oh, no. I was just going to say it's beautiful weather here. I was watching some of the PPA and some, those upsets are always exciting to me. Not that I don't love the top favorites, but, when you get that high up and you haven't lost much, you get a target on your back. And so sometimes it's fun to root for the underdogs that are trying to make a name for themselves and just get ahead in the sport. So that's just me. I'm always a bit of an underdog fan. So.
Well, I think it's great, especially when you see some of the young players making a little run in these tournaments. And just like you said, shake it up. We know all these main names. There are a lot of names we don't know, and there are going to be more that we're going to get to know. One of them sitting right over there next to you, Jenna Hessert right there. Now, you were talking about training for pickleball. Let's give a little bit of your own personal background for everybody before we dump in to this awesome stuff. I mean, we're going to jump in. We're going to get right into the kitchen. We're going to dink back and forth between NPL, OPPL. It's going to be just like that. We might have a few speed 'em ups, so you might have to be ready for that too. But Jenna, please, love to hear a little more of your background. We're both military brats. Carol, sworn in by proxy to Navy service. And so we've got you outgunned here. Go Navy. But it's your story to tell a little bit. Please do.
But she's military. She's military too, though.
That's right. She's Air Force.
Both my parents are Air Force. So, yes, I like to say I served for 18 years. But no, background is tennis and track. So I grew up playing tennis and then ran track for Yale all 4 years. And then kept up my tennis after that and was one of the many people that switched to pickleball during the COVID era. And then played about a year of amateur and then went pro in 22. So 2 years playing pro as of now.
2 years playing pro, had some
one to look out for.
Had some instant success. If I remember, we talked a little bit on APP, medaled a little bit, and talk about some of your own personal tournament schedule for the year. When are we going to get a chance to see you out there on the court doing your thing?
Yeah, so I played both PPA and APP, and I was fortunate enough. I had some good runs last year. I made 2 finals of APP and singles and got the first gold at the indoor championship in December last year. And then I have 2 tournaments upcoming in March. I'm going to do the APP Sacramento and then the APP Miami, and then the U.S. Open in April, which will be where the draft is for the NPL.
That is so cool.
Very
That's
exciting.
a lot of travel right there. But I think I kind of figured out how you pick your spots here, Jenna. Sacramento, Miami, not bad places to get some pickle in, right? You got to make sure you're following the sunshine.
Absolutely. I work a full-time job, so I'm a geologist, and I use my vacation hours to play these tournaments. So if I'm gonna play pickleball, let's do it in some pretty places, right?
That's right. Well, I mean, Oklahoma, like we said, booming with pickleball. You have started the Oklahoma Premier Pickleball League. Let's talk a little bit about that too, and how that is also, you guys are doing some things in conjunction, Carol, is that right, with the NPL? Jenna gave me a little toiler You know what the toiler is. That's part teaser, part spoiler. That's how we do it around here. But we'll talk about some of the great things maybe you guys are going to do together there in the community. And then I know there's a lot of NPL going on too. So we'll dink one over there for Carol also. But how did the whole OPPL, Jenna, get started? Was this your brainchild?
Yeah, so we actually have 6 pro players, myself included, that have played APP, PPA, and then some more that are looking to play their first pro this year. And so our training group got to talking, and we love what the Orchard's done and the Arizona Pickleball League, and I think they've really helped set the stage and put Arizona on the map for pickleball. And we were like, man, we have enough good players here. We can do this, right? We can put something like this together. And there's a brewery here in Oklahoma that has a pickleball court, kind of a show court. And man, I mean, I'm like, okay, you can get pickleball, you can get some beer, and you can get some really good talent. And what more could you want? So yeah, we all got together and designed this league. Started with our mission statement to grow pickleball in Oklahoma, help our pros, aspiring pros, and really develop the pickleball scene here. And it's just taken off. It's been an awesome journey. And through this, I got connected with Carol, and she's been a great mentor and a great resource. And we're excited to do a lot of collaborations between the OKC Punishers, NPL, and then the OPPL here in OKC.
In the format of your OPPL, it's a team league, team driven. How many teams do we have currently?
We have 4 teams, and we have 3 guys and 1 girl, right, as of now. So we play 2 mixed matches, 2 men's doubles matches, and then we go to a singles tiebreaker, but we coined it Oklahoma Showdown because we had to put our own spin on it. And yeah, hopefully, we want to, as we talk about, grow. Yeah, I know it's a little exciting. But hopefully, want to grow the scene, get more women in the sport. Obviously, I'm biased on that.
Yes.
And yeah, and then eventually go to 2 guys, 2 girls, and then maybe up to 6 teams is the goal.
Up to 6 teams, that would be pretty good, especially if
let
maybe
me just say,
you can say, go ahead.
no, I was just going to say I've been going to the events because I don't know. I was told I might be an unofficial mascot, but I don't know if I'm ready for the pressure of all that. But I love these young people. Well, I'd have to go dressed as a buffalo.
That's what I'm talking
about.
I
don't know about all that. But well, it was just a natural collaboration. If you just think about it, we want to grow the sport in Oklahoma. Cross promoting is just a thing in general nowadays anyway. Bringing attention to the OPPL can bring attention to, oh wow, there's another league. There's a Champions Pro League, which is the 50 plus. And so it's just very exciting. I have really enjoyed going to the matches. They're very good. They're very exciting. They're very fun. And so, this has just been a really fun thing. I hope it's been fun for Jenna too. But so I was going to give you a toiler that we are going to be going to Dallas together in a couple of weeks.
Awesome.
Because the NPL is having a combine there. And so Jenna is going to help me scout players for the draft in April.
Ooh.
So
I like it. Get a little
who all comes out for that.
Get a little extra eyes on the combine.
And I haven't decided if I want her to.
You do. You want her eye
Well,
on
and
that
I'm like,
talent
do
for
I
you.
have her be there incognito? I do, but do I want her wearing OKC stuff?
Kind of Patriot style up in the
Or
rafters,
does she go,
right?
Well, no,
This could be our first Spygate in pickleball.
So
I can't believe it.
Exactly.
And we're talking about it.
Talking to
we're
the
not
players.
afraid about it.
I know. No, we're just put it on out there. But,
That's right.
does she go covert and see if people are really nice or they're just pretending to be nice because they want to be on the Punishers or the Drivers or the, one of the other teams? But it's kind of probably, I think the best thing is just to have her decked out in OKC gear and just have her boldly, going and looking at all these players, talking with them, and just also having an opportunity to talk a little bit about the OPPL. And because we definitely want to bring as much positive attention to it as we can so that we can help it grow. So that's kind of the goal.
I think it's awesome, and especially with two ladies spearheading some pickle effort and getting more ladies involved in the sport, because a lot of people I talk to want to see that as well. There's a lot of females who are playing pickleball. There are a lot of ladies who are pretty good at pickleball. We see that out here in the desert, and when you go around to some of the outer courts, you see that too. And sometimes, personally, I entered a tournament and it was MLP style. We needed two ladies. I had my guy friend. Luckily, I was able to get just a random list of ladies that I started to call. But hey, guess what? They responded, hey, we'd love to play. We met, we played, we had fun. And I think that can happen too. And we get more people playing pickleball. Plus, again, pickleball's that connector. We're meeting people again. We're saying hi. We're meeting people out at the court and we're having fun. And that can lead to a nice pickle gate afterwards. I mean, heck, you guys are playing at a brewery. People are pickle gating during the whole thing. Talk about the setup, because Jenna, it was just thrilling to me to hear the way you described how people can sit all around and even like kind of close to the court. That it's very centric to an open air kind of a mall area or something like that.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a collective. So there's actually a coffee shop, a Vietnamese restaurant, and then the brewery all in the center. And then you can like bring board games, you can bring your dog, and then there's a separate room that's all glass on the one side. So even if you're hanging out in this area, you can see into the court. And then all along the one side, there's seating, so like going in and actually sit like right up against the court there. You can bring your beer in there. And it's a fun time. It's a really fun kind of Monday night event to do in Oklahoma City.
It sounds fun. And now you're
The
almost.
only thing I'm thinking, oh no, I was just going to say it's getting so popular. I can see that we're going to maybe outgrow, as awesome as Prairie Artisan Ales has been. It may be that I say we, see how I'm saying we?
It's a good
That's
problem to
right.
have though, for
Yeah,
sure.
that it's going to be maybe outgrowing that space before too long. But I will say that it's been a very fun venue, and hats off to Prairie Ales for making it and just being so supportive and just helping to make it such a fun atmosphere.
Yeah, shout out. And plus, you're streaming it already. You're coming down to the first season finals very soon. Is that correct? And you're already a second season planned?
That's correct. We have our semis will be March 4th, and then the finals will be March 11th. And then we're planning a combine and then having a draft over the summer. And then the second season will start sometime in August. So I'm really excited also to go to this, go to the combine, kind of learn how it's run, so that way
Yes.
we can do kind of something similar here in OKC for our league.
Very cool. If you take off like the NPL did, then we're going to need to build a couple new places to pickle right down there in Oklahoma City, because, I mean, we're going to be bumping into each other. I mean, Carol, Combine in Dallas, just the first for NPL this year. We've expanded to 12 teams, though I didn't see one here in Arizona. We could kind of talk about that. I mean, what happened to the bid from Arizona? They just get run out? I mean, what happened?
It's become a popular thing to own an NPL team. We did get an expansion of 6 more teams to make it 12, but there are people waiting for next season that are already on the list to want,
Wow.
another expansion team for 2025. So
And
it's
how
pretty
just,
exciting, and we love to see the
yeah.
growth.
Talk about that excitement. I mean, just from where you were and when we talked before and how you became an owner, and now we've expanded, and you already know that there's people waiting to still get into this. And I think it's because how it began and foundationally, you're doing things right.
Well, for sure. There's always a little bit of growth after the first season where you go back and look at things and say some things worked better than others, but it was like 95% of the things that we did that we're keeping, because there wasn't much that we needed to correct. I mean, obviously there's going to be a few minor things, but when you have a Beth Bellamy and a Rick Witskin and the other founder, Michael Chen, they're such amazing people, and they bring such credibility to whatever they're going to put their hands on. They're great people. They're also very smart people. They love the sport. They want to do everything with integrity and just with, a great sense of unity. And so the OKC Punishers were very into our culture, and so is the NPL. It's like a big family, and so it's very important for all of us to support one another. And just like in any family, if you have any little disagreements, which may happen, you still love each other at the end of it, and you compromise and you figure it out, because we all want everyone else to be successful. It's not like I'm more successful if someone else fails. No, we all want to be successful. And that's another reason why I reached out to Jenna, is because I really want the OPPL to be successful too, because that just helps the sport. That helps pickleball grow. And we want pickleball to be on the forefront of everyone's minds. If you haven't tried it yet, we want you to try it. If you're already doing it, we want you to get better.
That's right.
If you're getting better, we want you to think about becoming a pro. So it's a progression. And so that's just, how we are going to see pickleball kind of just skyrocket to where it ought to be. And it already has and already is, but the sky's the limit. So how high is the sky? Well, we're going to keep trying to figure that out.
That's right. And it's only poised to continue to grow and get better. And I think, the two of you also there in Oklahoma, how might we be helping? Because Jenna, with the OPPL, we've got younger players, just to say, when in the NPL, it's more distinguished players. We put it that way, right? And so how can we help
Exactly.
back down to the youth? Will we do some clinics in local towns? Any aspirations to do some things like that for youth, or just even putting on public clinics for those people who haven't gotten the pickle fever yet?
Yeah, so that's our plan. Carol and I have been talking. We want to do some pro-ams, do some clinics, do some camps. That's what's really great about pickleball, is you can involve everyone from, 5, 6 years old, to 70, 80 plus. And, regardless of ability level, where you're at in the sport or just sports in general. So it really is unique about that. And again, that, not only does it help, grow pickleball, but also helps grow our fan base, right? So, these people get to know us, and that's what's really unique, I think, too, about this setup, where you have the NPL, but, the OKC Punishers are associated with Oklahoma. The
Yes.
OPPL is associated with Oklahoma. So now you get to know these players. You're going to see them out. I know they did, a team bonding event here last season. And so I really think that can help, kind of grow the sport also in Oklahoma, where you're like, hey, I did a clinic with that person. You start to get celebrity status. But I think that, there's a lot that we can do here to help, encourage the youth all the way up, regardless of age.
For
Right,
sure. I in my other life, I was an elementary school teacher, and so I very much care that this sport, I'd love to see it be an official college sport. I'd love to see it in high schools, middle schools, and then you can start thinking of scholarships and things like that. It's definitely coming. There's no question about it. I
We've
have
seen
heard
some
some
of that.
inside
We've
baseball
seen
or
some of that
football.
on the collegiate side. I
Yeah.
think it was Drury University offered pickleball scholarships. We're seeing a lot of these major universities with the pickleball clubs. And as I talk to a lot of pickleball pros are still in college and talk about the clubs. And that's one of my focuses this year, because they're able to do this kind of outside of the window of, let's say, the NCAA, because some of these pros are sponsored and they can get these clubs and use some of the sponsorships to form these tournaments. Like we're seeing, they had a huge collegiate tournament in Indianapolis and in Atlanta. And back to your point, in high school, what was funny is I was down at the Ocotillo pickleball group where I like to play. And there was a couple of obviously high school aged kids, and they were whacking around the pickleball. And two young ladies came over and said they wanted to play us. And we said, okay, yeah, great. We love to play pickleball. And they were senior tennis players. And they had just started picking up pickleball. But let me tell you, they had some ground strokes. And my only question was, hey, is there a club? Is there a pickleball club at high school yet? And their answer was not yet. And my thing was, hey, that's your senior legacy. You could start it, right? Why not? Because I think we're going to see it everywhere. It's the only sport truly that you can go out and I can play with my dad on one side, my grandparents on the other, and we're all going to have fun. And you could have 3 generations of people out there pickling together.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So yeah, to your question, that's definitely one of the goals. I think inevitable, that it's going to happen. And I wouldn't mind helping to facilitate that to work its way into the public schools here. I've actually got that on my radar anyway. So, and I definitely need Jenna to come and help me with that. So
That's right. Well, she's helping you find talent. She's going to
when
help
she
you
has
get
time,
this
I
into
don't know
the
when she
school
has time.
systems. She's your go-to. You guys are a dynamic duo in
Well,
Oklahoma City.
the next thing I need, well, for sure. And then I don't know if you knew Jenna's big into CrossFit, so I need her to help me start pumping some real iron here pretty soon,
Look how we set that up
so that I can
without even
stay
any
fit enough.
planning. It's right here on my sheet to go back to Jenna's background in the CrossFit. We talked about it a little bit before, and we talked a little, Jenna, about how, when CrossFit and everybody had to CrossFit, and it was CrossFit, 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 and CrossFit gym here and CrossFit gym there. And we're seeing some of that in the pickle, but I don't think, at least it doesn't seem to be, that we might have a drop off in pickleball, but certainly staying fit, CrossFit, flexibility, all important in pickleball. Let's talk about fitness and how, even for more distinguished gentlemen and ladies such as Carol and myself, it's important for us to stay fit, hydrated, and really just even some basic stretching before you get out there on the court. I'll let the youngster handle this one, Carol.
Yeah, absolutely. Fitness, that's the one thing about pickleball. We talked about how like any stage of life you can play it, but I do think incorporating a healthy fitness routine outside of what you do on the pickleball court, right? Getting in, lifting some weights, some resistance training, eating right. I mean, all that stuff is really important to sustain people's pickleball careers. So I would encourage people, especially again, we talked about how pickleball is unique. Maybe it's someone that has never played a sport. Or maybe they were that D1 athlete and it's been 20 years and they're like, I'm still the same D1 athlete. I played football in college. I can just, go out on pickleball court and I don't need to warm up. And so I think that is an important aspect to bring up is like, hey, if you want to play for your whole life, and that's what, I'd say tennis and golf are very similar to that, where it is a lifetime sport, which is great, but
Right.
it's also what you do off the court that matters a lot. And I'd say, speaking from experience, you mentioned it, a lot of the pro athletes are in college or even in high school. And so, I'm out on the singles court trying to compete with these 18 and 20-year-olds. And so I have to stay fit if I want to run all over the court with them.
Absolutely. And you still play, you like singles. You still play singles, and because you play each discipline when you play at tournaments, right?
Yes. I usually play singles, doubles, and mixed. I play all three. I love it. I mean, if I'm there, might as well get all the pickle when I can, right?
Yeah, I was out at the Mesa, and I saw Gabriel Tardio right after he lost his singles match, right? And he's walking, and I had interviewed him before, so I just said, hey, bummer, whatever. And he just kind of like, I don't really like singles. I'm getting ready for the doubles. And yeah, well, he did pretty good in the doubles this week. It's pretty good. And so fitness, of course, you mentioned also your diet. So let's talk a little bit about food, but not necessarily what you're eating to stay on the pickleball court. Let me hear a little bit about what you like to eat when we're cheating. Give me some good snack foods that we like to eat, Jenna. What's a good snack food for you?
Oh man, I'm a sucker for Crumble cookie. That is like my go-to. I do check every week if there's like, I cannot miss this cookie. So I have the app, full disclosure, and I always kind of look like, yeah, I can't miss this cookie. I gotta go get that. So that's probably my guilty pleasure.
That's a good one. The Crumble cookies are good. I stay into all sweets. I have no discipline when it comes to it. But, I feel since I walk my dog a lot, it kind of helps, and I try to stay active in other ways. Crumble cookies are great. I just got, mobbed by the tractor beam of the Girl Scout booth 2 weeks ago when I walked out of the grocery store, and that led to an instant 5 boxes of Girl Scout cookies I had to get. Because you can't get one tag along, you got to get 2, and then I got to get 2 Thin Mints. And then because they're going to give me a deal on 5, you got to throw in some Samoas. What are you going to do?
Absolutely. And then you got to put one of the Thin Mints in the freezer.
Always, yes.
Always have to put them in the freezer. That's the best. You crunch them up on your ice cream. That's what you have to do. Now,
yeah, no doubt.
I think for sure something, especially with the expertise of one Carol Rowles, and she's already a veteran at building these leagues and drawing up participation in the community, what I think is going to be happening. I feel a little pickleball Roki coming up to really boom pickleball there in Oklahoma. Punishers, OPPL participants, we're singing, we're pickling. Jenna, I know Carol's got some skills. What is your go-to karaoke song?
Oh, so I'm pretty much tone deaf. I was actually kicked out of the choir in elementary school. I was told maybe I should just stick with sports. So I'll probably pick a Disney song. That's a good go-to. Kind of anyone from that list. But yeah, I'm pretty ideally a group song where I can fade into the background.
Where you can do the chorus. You could just do the oohs and the ahs.
Exactly. Yep.
Well, and I'm not a good singer at all, but I will get out there and pretend and just put it all on the floor. I will act like I am, Carrie Underwood out there. And I won't sound like her, but I will put the effort in to try.
Carol, can you talk about any of the talent you're eyeing for the upcoming draft? Are we trying to bring back some of our same players? Did we get to keep any of our same players, or is it an open draft?
Well, I can't really talk about that last part. Am I eyeing people? Absolutely. Would I like to keep some of the same people on my team? Absolutely. When you have a Beth Bellamy and a Jaime on scenes, who, I don't know if you know much about Jaime, but he still is coaching the Davis Cup for Brazil. I mean, he is amazing, and he's also an amazing person. If I could have kept an entire team, we had such a great time and such a great season. I'd love to do that. Definitely not going to be able to keep the entire team.
Right.
So my eyes are wide open, and I'm looking for, fresh talent, veteran talent. Again, some players that are going to have that kind of culture that is so important to me, even more so than winning. I want to win because everything's a competition, as Jenna told me that her father taught her growing up. But I want to have a good time, and I want the players to have a good time. So we know that attitude can really affect that. And so if there is someone that I feel's attitude doesn't mesh with the culture for the OKC Punishers, I probably would just let them go ahead and go on to another team. I honestly love everybody, all the other players and the team. I can tell you that I've had a great time getting to know all of the other players as well. And there's so much talent that
There is.
Here's what it's going to be, Mickle. It's going to be that some talent isn't even going to make it onto a team, and that's going to break my heart just because there's limited spots.
Right.
So,
right. There's continued talent.
That's going to be the tough part because, I mean, I would love to have a team with 50 players on it, but
NFL size rosters, right? I mean, then you're just taking a whole troop to every tournament. You decide who you want ahead of time. I mean, really, I think as these leagues continue to go, I mean, you need a roster, right? You need that team. And the draft becomes, maybe who left because their contract got ended and you're replacing, or you extend them. And it kind of starts to work like that kind of a league, because then we're going to build that fan base, right? And I know that these 5 people are still on the Punishers, and they might be on the court today. Ooh, or are they going with that other lineup? And I think who knows what happened to the MLP? Oops, did I say it? I did. But again, team pickleball, I think, is just a great thing and can help build people into pickleball, especially if pickleball wants to continue to find its way amongst the other sports. And it's great from a rec perspective too, with what you're doing, OPPL. Like you mentioned, the AZPL up here at the Orchard is off the hook. I mean, it's great and it's fun to watch. And there's just a lot of talented people who are playing this sport. Hey, Carol, I just talked with Howard Castillo. Now, he started the Emerald Isle Pickleball League, and that's over in Ireland. But they got a squad over there, the 60 Slammers. Maybe I'll do some international scouting for you, and we'll see if they want to come across the pond and pickle up. You know what I'm talking about.
Bring it. We had some international. We had someone from Singapore. Sorry about that. Someone from Singapore, and also, I forget where else, but we did Australia, I think. And so I think we had some international vibes already started, and we would more than welcome, players from other countries to come and try out. I think that would be exciting.
I do too, and I think before long you're probably going to see it as your league continues to flourish and expand again, more than likely, because pickleball is being played everywhere. And we know it's getting younger, and you're making it available for, again, distinguished folks like us. We got pros like Jenna right in their prime out there just crushing it. Anything on the plan for any sort of a St. Patrick's Day pickle tournament down there in Oklahoma City, or we just have things going with OPPL? Anything that you guys know of? Now maybe you want to plan something.
Well, we have, so our finals will be March 11th. So that'll kind of be our big wrap up. And then that weekend for St. Patty's is the Combine in Dallas.
Is that when we're going to Dallas? Okay.
So that'll be that's the Combine weekend.
Very good.
We might have some parties down there, but it'll probably be the Combine focus. And then, as I said, we got some events, especially once Carol gets her team for this year. We're probably going to have to do a OPPL, OKC Punishers Showdown, or get some bragging rights going.
Yes.
The old veterans
I like it.
Against the young buck.
I like it. I mean, you better watch out because, the Punishers, they might just punish you. They might just run you right off the court.
Oh, no, absolutely. Well, we're going to have to get some training sessions in before that.
Now, Jenna, I think
it's also exciting. It's super fun.
I think enough time has passed since the end of the Super Bowl, Jenna, since you've had to deal as an Eagles fan with an off season similar to a lot of those folks in San Francisco. Maybe you can offer them a way to kind of get through it as a Eagles fan, and offer some condolences for them, and maybe just even a bright outlook for the folks back in Philly heading into next year.
Oh man, well, Philly sports, we are used to heartbreak. We are really good at that. I'll just say, when you do win that Super Bowl, celebrate hard, climb all the light poles you want in your home city. Have a good time. So, and then reminisce on that when your season doesn't go the way you want it to.
Well, since my team's in the bottom of the NFC East, I had to kind of try to get some little jab in there. But it's all about the pickleball. And Carol, 3 combines. The first one's going to be in Dallas. 2 combines.
2.
Okay.
Last year we had 1. So this year the first one will be the first weekend of March, and that'll be down in South Florida. And the second one is mid-March, and it will be in Dallas.
Okay.
And so we encourage people to come and watch, because it's really a wild ride, because people are coming from all over the country. They're really super excited. They want to show their stuff. And it's amazing because last year so many people came to the Combine and ended up finding friendships and finding future tournament partners and things like that. So, I'm sure it'll be just like that this year. It'll be super fun, and just also very well worth everyone's time,
And when does the season start for NPL?
So the season actually starts mid-May.
Okay.
And before that, we'll have a draft in April. And then a few days later, that'll be sort of the latter, part of kind of around the 9th, 10th, 11th, something like that. And then the actual draft party where we announce our players will be the weekend just after that. So
is that in
April
Florida?
14th, 15th, which is down in Florida. Yeah, down in Florida, which is my birthday on the 15th of April. And then Jenna's birthday is actually during the Combine. So we're going to have to figure out some time to celebrate that as well.
Yes, birthday celebrations.
Yes.
Birthday celebrations are great. And I mean, segue right into that. What's the cake? Do you have a go-to birthday cake? What's your favorite cake? Are you a cake or pie people?
I am a cake person, and I love the confetti cake. So the vanilla cake with the different colors in there, and then the vanilla icing with the sprinkles and multicolored, very bright. In case it, totally opposite from my personality. I'm a very,
you're very
not bright person. So
very introverted. You don't
Very dull.
don't get out of your shell too much.
Just like me, we're both such shy wallflowers right
It's hard to
Yeah,
pull
so,
the two of you
I
out
like
of your
the-
shell.
You're doing great. You're doing great.
I mean, two
So
wallflowers over there.
my mom made me every year. My mom made me every year angel food cake with whipped cream and strawberries, and
Yum.
so that's my favorite. But
I
I've
like
never
that.
met a cake I didn't like, but that's my favorite.
I
Yeah.
used to be more of a pie versus cake. I'd always have a Boston cream pie for my birthday. That was just the one I liked. My mom makes this old family recipe. It's a black bottom pie. It takes her a lot to make because of the crust and all the stuff that's in there. But every time I go home, I have to ask, would you make me a black bottom pie? But my dad likes it too. He just doesn't want to ask for it all the time. So if I do it, that way we all win.
There you go.
And then she makes
Sounds
my brother
good.
a Reese's peanut butter pieces cup pie thing that is just to die for. You can have like one bite. Even me. And I mean,
Can't
I
go
usually
wrong.
eat the whole thing.
Wow, yeah, they're rich. They're rich. So your favorite's Boston cream pie. You know, I gotta call you out on that a little bit because it smells super pie-ish. Like I think of Boston cream pie, and
It's a
there's a
pie.
layer of cake in there.
You think, well, they call it a pie.
It's called pie. It's called pie, but it's more like a cake.
And I did stay at the Omni Hotel in Boston where the first Boston cream pie, at least they claim that was the originator of the Boston cream pie. So that was probably the most historical event I did when I was in
Wow.
Boston. I didn't do a lot of sightseeing, even though you can walk across the city in like 5 seconds. But it's pretty cool. It's like going from one side of the kitchen to the other on the pickleball court. Now, so Jenna, when you are playing, do you have a set partner? I always find that interesting too, because you see players outside of some that they always play with the same, or even from one year to another, they might switch that partnership up. What about yourself? Do you have people that you play with consistently? Sometimes you have to find a partner on the fly. How does that work?
Yes, so for mixed, my main partner is Chris Hayworth here in OKC, which is just awesome. So he's my main training partner, and I mean, he's also an incredible singles pickleball player. Beat Ben Johns at Nationals last year, had some solid wins. I mean, he's great. He's on the rise too, and so it's great to be able to train with him. So
That's
he's
cool.
my main mixed partner. And then for women's, most of my partners, which I think is also unique for pickleball, I've ended up playing against them, and we feel like our games match up, and then we'll try a couple together. So I have my main partner right now is Annie Tishanor. She's actually out in California, and I met her playing against her in mixed at a tournament last year, and so we agreed, for the first half of the year, kind of play together, see how we do.
Awesome.
And yeah, I think that's kind of the sport where you try to evolve together. You find someone you want to grow together, and then you never know, like if someone else is like, hey, let's try this pairing. This might complement me because you're always trying to figure out what works. But
Right.
I found for the most part, everyone's kind of doing the same thing, so there's no hard feelings. It is this good community where like, hey, we're all trying to help each other get better. Kind of the theme we said is, someone else's success also helps your success. So.
For sure. Just like NPL can help
For sure.
OPPL and vice versa, right? There's that symbiotic relationship. Now, before I let you guys go, there's a little something happening soon, not right away, in the world of entertainment around movies. Now, I know with all your pickle and drafts coming up, you don't have a lot of time to watch movies and stuff. But have you ever heard of the Academy Awards?
Yes.
Carol, do you put on an Oscar party?
No.
Okay. I wasn't
However,
sure.
I used to watch it a lot. I don't watch TV, so that's the thing. But here's the deal. Back in the day, when I did watch TV, I wanted to see what the ladies were wearing. I wanted to see the ball gowns and the designers and the jewelry and the shoes and all of that. So it was like almost like a mini a Miss America pageant or something. So I would get a lot of fun out of just watching what the actors and actresses were wearing. So
That's a big part of it. Jenna,
I don't know, maybe Jenna's
any Oscar parties in your future? Is that something that you and your group does?
Man, no. I will say my pop culture knowledge is pretty limited. I am not, if you are at bar trivia, unless it has to do with like Eagles football, or maybe some like geology and rocks, I am not the person you want sitting at your table. So that is definitely outside. Now, my mom, on the other hand, is amazing at trivia, and she knows everything about actors and actresses, and I don't know how, but it all sticks in her head. So she's the person you call, not me.
Give us some give us a fun fact about a rock, or some specific type of a rock, or some geological fun fact for people to know.
Let's see. Well, the difference between rocks and minerals. So if you want to figure out, if you see like a white rock, it's kind of like crystalline in shape. It could be quartz, or it could be calcite. And fun fact is, quartz is as hard as your pocket knife. So if you can scratch the rock with your knife and the rock itself won't scratch the knife, that means it's softer than it. So that means it's calcite. And if it's as hard as your knife and it scratches the knife back, then you can identify it as quartz.
There we go. I feel
smarter.
smarter.
In case you ever are in a conundrum and need to tell the difference between calcite and quartz.
I think that's important. I mean, that could be a survival skill, right? I feel a little smarter, so I appreciate that. Now,
Sure.
Back to fun pickleball things. A big thing in pickleball, of course, is the pickleball itself. Are we unified in the ball we use, NPL, OPPL? What ball are we using?
NPL is moving over to the Chuck, the Gamma Chuck.
Okay.
It's supposed to be a very good ball. I have not played with it yet, but that's what NPL is doing. So what is OPPL doing?
And we got a sponsorship with Diadem. So they actually provided us free balls for
Nice.
season 1. And they've been great. We've been really happy with them. I think a lot of it depends too on like weather, humid conditions, super cold if they're going to crack. For us, we're all inside, so that does give us a little bit more flexibility for at least the OPPL.
Very cool. Yeah, I mean,
And we're all inside too. That's one of the things that the NPL wanted to make sure that we'd never get rained out, we'd never have weather delays, and that's why all of our events are inside, which is really awesome.
Well, I
People
think
appreciate not getting rained out.
Well, and I think it helps too. You're going to be able to play. We know some of last year, if maybe some of the improvements we see are some of the pickle places where the NPL tournaments are going to be, because we know for the championship, it was packed. People wanted to see the action, but I know we're moving away from some of those kind of places because NPL is growing. We've got OPPL now in Oklahoma. Pickleball's booming, like I like to say, in Oklahoma. It's Picklahoma City, for crying out loud. Carol Rowles, Oklahoma City Punishers, she's the owner. Now, she's recruited Jenna here, Jenna Hessert, pro player. She went to Yale, folks, so she's pretty smart. Don't let her fool you that she doesn't know this entertainment type of trivia. She's setting you up just like she would at the kitchen for a speed up, and she'll put that thing right there on you, and it'll hurt because she's got some power. As I let you head out, this has been great. I really appreciate you both joining me here on the virtual court, and that we got it done without too many technical difficulties. If you had to plug something, because I bet they're going out to play pickleball. It's only, 5:15 out there, or 4:15. So there might be a little grudge match between Carol and Jenna before the night's over. Get out on the court, maybe a little practice, a little dink and roll.
If we can make that happen at Prairie Ales and she has 7 or 8 beers first, I will take her on, no problem. But
Carol, that's
if
a
it's
secret.
not under those conditions, I'm not, yeah.
Well, she's got to have 4 or 5 to get ready for the karaoke after at the Pickle Gate. So I think you're onto something there. That's what you just soften her up a little bit, and then you got it.
Yeah, that's I'm pretty much a lightweight, so I might only take 2, and then I'll be singing.
Well, Jenna,
As far as things to plug, I guess I would just. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say just a quick thing about the NPL. I don't have a team right now because we're in the off season, but my larger extended team is the NPL. And oh yeah, I love the hat. Thanks for your support. Just wanting to just say how wonderful it has been and how much I'm looking forward to long and bright future with the NPL and the OKC Punishers. It's an amazing organization. It's well run. Anyone who wants to start anything would not go wrong by looking at what the NPL has done and trying to emulate many of the things that we've accomplished there. So my hat's off to the NPL and just looking forward to season 2.
Awesome. I am too. And with my short exposure to it, like I've said, you guys are doing things, I believe, the right way. That happens through great people, shared vision, maybe occasional argument here and there. Like you said, it's a family. We go out, we have some pie or cake afterwards. Jenna, looking forward to seeing this continued OPPL and also your continued growth on the court yourself. And if I can help try to facilitate an OPPL, AZPL showdown sometime, right? Let's get some cross-state pickle action going. I bet the folks at the Orchard would be up for it, and I'll start to spread your name around as a contact if you're okay with it.
Absolutely. I think that would be great. I think like their model has been awesome. I think they're doing great things there. And so I hope, OPPL could get to that kind of entertainment level and the type of crowd that they're drawing. So yeah, I would love to take on a grudge match and yeah, get some state rivalries going, build that storyline.
Yeah, build up some competitive spirits.
Yeah.
It's a team sport. It's a lot of fun. And then you guys see each other out on the pro circuit too.
Well, and as you pointed out, she went to Yale. She's really smart, but she's just naturally smart if she didn't even go to Yale. But I will say expect big things from this young lady right here because she is on top of things. She's bubbly, she's bright, and she's one to look out for and watch and just, I'm not sure I'm mentoring her. She's mentoring me, honestly. She's amazing. She's amazing. We're having a blast.
You both have my support. You know that. Carol, I love the NPL, love the Punishers. I appreciate you both so much for coming here on the show with me. Best of luck this year. I'm going to be watching. Anytime we want to get back together, maybe mid-year, championship comes around after the draft, let's do it, especially when you get that team, Carol. I need to see this roster because I know it's going to be stacked. Jenna's helping you pick. I mean, come on.
I know. It's pretty. I've got a secret weapon right here. I love it.
Well, thank you again.
Thank you for having us. It's been super fun.
Oh, it's my pleasure all the time. Have a great rest of your weekend, and I'll talk to you soon.
Okay. Thanks, Mickle. Take care.
Wonder Twin Pickle powers activate. How fun was that? Thank you, Carol and Jenna. You are both amazing. Folks, if you find yourself in OKC, you better get to Prairie Ales for some premier pickle action. Follow the Punishers and their quest for the NPL title. Stay safe out there and stay hydrated. I'll see all y'all next time for more